Surprise! I'm not live. I had a church meeting get called for 7 o'clock tonight. So I was going to try and record this beforehand and have it set up so it would publish at 7. So we'll see if this works. I'm also trying a new location. It's right by my desk. So we'll see how this works. I'm hoping the lighting will be a little bit better here. So you'll have to let me know what you think. But tonight we're playing with this Ghoulish Goodies. This is what I've been showcasing this week, is the Ghoulish Goodies stamp set. And this is the card that we're going to make. It's really a simple card. Oh, I need my stamp apparatus. The nice thing about where I'm set up is everything is right here. So if I forget something, I don't have to go running across the room to get it. But I forgot I do want my stamp apparatus for this. So let me grab it real quick. So you may have seen this technique before to get this fun color in the background. It's really a simple technique, and we're going to do that first because it will need to dry, and I have my heat gun because I may need to use it. So I'm going to set this out of the way, and I'm going to put some paper towels down because this will get a little bit messy. And so I just have a clear block, and I have Granny Apple Green and Garden Green. And so I'm just going to take the light color first, and I'm just going to ink it up on this block. Most of it I'm going to do the light. And then I'm going to take my Garden Green and ink it up on the bottom part and overlap a little bit. Get it good and inked. And the reason you do the light first is if you get your stamp into your ink into the light, the dark one into the light, it doesn't matter. All right, now I'm going to take my spritzer, and I've got just a piece of Whisper white cardstock, and I'll put all the measurements on my blog at some point tonight. Actually, move that while I spritz this. So I'm going to spritz this once I figure out which way it's going really well. Got lots of water on there. All right, bring my piece back. And I made this a little bit bigger than I need. So then you just put it on there, and you can see, and like my other ones, I hope you can see that on the camera. It just kind of like, it's like magic. And then you end up with this really cool, variegated, I don't know, it just looks like a spooky background. And each one will turn out different, and I have green all over my fingers. That will be a mess. Okay, we're gonna set this. Get rid of that block. I'll clean it up later. I'll use a wipe. I can just use a wipe and clean it up really well later. And I'm just gonna set this out of the way. There we go. And then we'll start putting together the rest of it. And I'll probably have to use my heat gun on that. But the reason I made it a little bit bigger is, if you notice, I didn't get this on there very straight. So this way you can trim it down and it'll be nice and straight, and you don't have to worry about not getting the block down straight because you have to kind of go quick with it. All right, the other thing that I used is, so my card base is Granny Apple Green, and I ran this piece through the Stampin' Die Cut machine with this Cobwebs embossing folder, which I love. So I did that, and then I just have a card base in Granny Apple Green. So let's fold that. The other thing is, my camera is not on the surface I'm working on, so that means that it shouldn't shake. Like if I do die cutting, if I use my cut and emboss machine here, then it shouldn't shake the camera. So we'll see if this works. If it does, then I may have to have my husband help me come up with something a little more permanent than what I've got set up now, but I wanted to try it. All right, so I'm just going to take, because it's embossed, I just took my Tombow liquid glue, and we'll glue that. Oh man, I did this when I did it the other day too. Don't glue that yet. Pull that apart. The good thing is, since I just did it, I can pull apart because I want to use some of this fun mesh. So I'm going to cut off a little length of it. And I love this mesh ribbon. And I'm going to, whoops, that's still sticky. Grab my tape. So I'm trying to very carefully lay this on there. And because there's glue on the back, it'll probably hold it a little bit. And I can turn it over and tape it just to make sure that it stays on there well. This ribbon is really fun. I probably should have bought some more of it. Okay, now we'll put a little more glue on here. Make sure it sticks. All right, now we're ready to put this on our base. Isn't that fun? Okay. Set that aside. All right, we're probably gonna have to, yeah, that's still wet. So if you didn't know, your embossing gun has two settings. So if it has a setting for number 1, that's just to dry things, and then setting number 2 is if you're actually trying to melt the embossing powder and emboss something. So we're gonna put on setting 1. I'm sorry, it's gonna get a little noisy. And we're just gonna try and dry it. Because you want it to be dry before you try and cut it, or before you try and stamp on it. Because the ink will not stamp well if it's wet. And I like to just turn it over, dry it from the back. When it starts curling up, turn it over again. Dry it again. Just keep drying it until it feels like it's good and dry. So it might take a couple minutes. Oh, I think it's almost there. All right, let's see how that looks. Yep, I think that feels good. So I'm going to go ahead and trim it before I do anything else. And I want my dimensions to be, I'm just checking, 2 by 4 1/8. So I want this to be 2. So I'm gonna cut it, because it's at 2 1/4, I'm gonna cut it like 2 1/8. This will tell us if it's dry. Yep, that cut pretty well. And then I'm gonna cut this side so it's down to 2. And that way I'll have a nice square and none of that white that's left over. And then 4 1/8. So I'm gonna just cut it off the top since I had extra of the lighter green at the top, and I don't wanna lose all that darker green. All right, so now we have 2. And like I said, all the measurements will be on my blog, hopefully later tonight. So now we have this fun piece that's 2 by 4 1/8. So now we're ready to stamp our witch, our cauldron, and our good to the last bite. So I'm going to use my Stamparatus for this because I'm going to be stamping black, and I want it to be a really dark black. So I already have this little corner thing here, so I can just put this in there just in case it moves on me, then I know right where to put it back. Put my magnets on there. And then I'm going to take my witch and I'm going to lay her on here where I want her to be. And then my good to the last bite, I'm going to lay that up here where I want it to be. And then I can pick them up. All right, so I've got my Memento black. Let me put this. It's a little bit smaller. Oh, that was close. I almost dropped my Memento black. All right, so I'm going to ink these up. And I think I did it like 3 times. Because see, that's just not dark enough. Here, I can turn it this way. I bet this will work better. If I don't knock my ink pad off. All right. Ink them up again. I want that cauldron to be nice and dark. One more time, I bet will be good. Because my sentiment's looking pretty good. My cauldron needs to be a little bit darker. Let's see if we're happy with that. Well, let's do that cauldron one more time. And because I've got them on here separate, you know, far enough away, I can just ink up that bottom part because I'm happy with the words now. They look pretty good. That's looking pretty good. I think that will be fine. All right, let's take this out. Let's close this up before I make a mess. All right, now all we have to do is put it together. So I just have a piece of basic black, and I'm gonna go ahead and use my liquid glue, I think, so I can get a good, try and get it to stay flat. So I'll just put this all over the back, try and make sure I get in those corners too. Put that on my piece of black. Oh, which is not quite big enough, so it's gonna just be like that. Oh, there's a little piece that must not have been quite dry right there. There we go. So this one is not quite as long as the other one, so maybe I didn't get my green cut enough, but that's okay, it'll be fine. And then I just use dimensionals to adhere this to my card. Oh, and I forgot to bring, I printed out a flyer about the recruiting, the starter kit bonus. Okay, there you go. That's the one that we made tonight, and that's the one I made before. And you can see I just didn't get enough water there, but I kind of liked it. Kind of added to the spookiness of it. And this one ended up being a little darker, so like I said, it'll be different every time you do it. All right. So if you comment on this post, it'll be just a post. My plan is to post a link to the video on YouTube. So I'll go ahead and get this uploaded to YouTube. On Facebook, I'll post the link to it. Hopefully I can have that ready to post, and posting at 7:30. So when you come looking for the live video, you see the post. So if you comment on that Facebook post that has the link, then you will be in the drawing to win this card. So I will draw for that this weekend. I never seem to remember on Friday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometime in there, I will draw. The other thing, like I said, I forgot to bring down the flyer, but there is a starter kit promotion going on right now. And I will post a picture of the flyer also on Facebook so you can see the details of it. The starter kit's always great. You get $125 worth of product for $99. Right now, on top of that, you get 2 stamp sets and some card bases, so that you're all, and I can't remember if there's ink. I'll have to look. But like I said, I'll post the flyer. So you're all ready to make cards or have a card class if you want. But I would love to have you join my team. If you have any questions, be sure and reach out. We have a good time. You do not have to do what I do to get the starter kit. You can just get the starter kit and then you get a discount on anything else that you purchase. So you can just do that. I have several ladies that just do that. I have several that are like, well, I have a friend that likes to do this, so I just kind of share some stuff with her, but they don't have classes. And I have some that have done some classes and are probably going to do some more. So we welcome everyone, no matter what your desire is. And so if that's something you're interested in, that special is only good through September. So like I said, I would love to have you join my team. Just let me know if you have any questions or if I can help you with anything else. And I will see about getting this uploaded so y'all can have it tonight. All right, thanks. See you next week. Bye.